Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone. For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing. Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by Hyundai. Experience the 2011 Hyundai Sonata today at HyundaiSonata.com.
This is Autoline Daily for September 7, 2011, and here's what's happening in the global automotive industry right now. And on a global basis, Chevrolet sales are booming. In the first half of this year, Chevrolet sold nearly 2.2 million vehicles, up 14%. You know, that alone would make it one of the largest automakers in the world, and those are just sales for the first half. That puts Chevy on track to hit 4 million sales this year. And to emphasize that global growth, Chevrolet is now going to greatly boost production in Kazakhstan. Working with a company called Asia Auto, GM is going to make 5 Chevy models, including the Orlando, from knockdown kits. Wards reports that last year, Chevy only sold 468 cars in Kazakhstan. Next year, it expects to sell 10,000. Those are kind of small numbers, but that is precisely how you grow global sales into big numbers. We gave up reporting on recalls some time back because there's just so many of them. But this has got to be the weirdest recall of all time. Not to pick on Honda, but there is a problem with the CR-Z hybrid. If the gasoline engine stalls with the hybrid battery in a low charge and the transmission in gear, the electric motor can rotate in the wrong direction. So even if you're in a forward gear, the car will go backwards. I guess that gives new meaning to the term hybrid technology. BMW and Audi have grown 5 times faster than Mercedes over the past decade. They're ahead of Mercedes in sales and profits. Analysts say the brand was late getting into China and it has not done a good job of attracting younger buyers. Now, Mercedes says it can't stand it no more. It will expand its lineup, including the new B-Class that debuts in Frankfurt. New SUVs are being developed, and it will add variations to the S-Class after the new model comes out in 2013. Okay, now, a bunch of Frankfurt news. Hyundai just released pictures of its latest C-segment car, the i30. The first generation model racked up some 350,000 sales since it hit the market in 2007. Like its predecessor, the new i30 was designed and engineered in Europe, and it will be assembled at Hyundai's plant in the Czech Republic. Then Jaguar takes the stage. The latest concept car to wear a jumping kitty cat is the CX-16. This 1+1 sports car has a hybrid drivetrain featuring a supercharged 3-liter V6 that delivers 375 horsepower. The internal combustion engine is supplemented by a 94 horsepower electric motor and a 1.6 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery. An 8-speed automatic transmission supplied by ZF is also part of the mix. To keep the weight down and the performance up, the CX-16 is largely made of aluminum. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour should take just 4.4 seconds. Inside, the car is trimmed with shockingly bright red leather and other premium materials. Skoda, one of the many brands under the VW umbrella, gave a sneak peek of its Mission L. Not too many details about the car were shared, but the styling hints at Skoda's upcoming lineup. The compact 5-door will be launched in Europe, Russia, and China, and this is part of Skoda's goal to reach sales of 1.5 million cars by 2018. Coming up next, it is time for You Said It.
I got this one, old man.
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
And now it's time for some of your feedback. Phoenix Mark saw our report on how low inventory numbers are holding the industry back. He doesn't quite agree. I don't think that inventory numbers are the problem, he says. It sounds like the inventory of specific cars or their location may be an issue. Over a month's inventory should be enough. Generally speaking, you're right, Phoenix Mart. A lot of people will not buy a car if the color or the options they want are not available on the dealer's lot. The Detroit 3 generally want 2 months of inventory available. Some brands, especially luxury ones, can get by with much lower inventory. Pedro Fernandez saw Autoline this week with McKeel Hagerty saying that one of the new developments in collecting classic cars is with unrestored classics. He says, I happen to agree with Mr. Hagerty wholeheartedly. Overdone restorations where you're almost afraid to drive the freaking car and just to have it there to ogle it makes no sense to me. Take it out, drive, and enjoy it. Mr. Arthans wonders what all the fuss is about China allegedly dumping tires in the American market. Wait, what does it mean China is dumping tires on the U.S., he asks. Were they dumping bad tires? As long as it's cheap, I'm happy. Paying $300 for tires sucks, especially now. Mr. Arthans, dumping refers to the practice of selling a product in another country for less than the cost of making that product, or for selling it cheaper than you do in your own country. Companies that practice dumping usually do this to drive their competition out of business, and once they're gone, they raise their prices. Jogbird saw our report on wireless charging for electric cars and wonders, what's the point of wireless charging? Are people too lazy to plug a cable in? And WG Superman wonders, plugless wireless charging? What's attached to the charging pad? Looks like an electrical cord to me. They act like they really have something. Chaps, it's all about convenience. I just want to pull my EV into the garage and not have to think about another thing. Hey, speaking of technology and cars, join us tomorrow night for Autoline After Hours when Mark Trahan from Audi will be joining me and the auto extremist Peter DeLorenzo. If you want to know what Audi is doing with quality and technology, Mark Trahan is the guy to ask, so make sure you get us your questions. And that's what's going on in this wonderful world of the automobile. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.